I'm Dick Clark. I'm the CEO and president of Clark Leadership Consulting, and I'm excited to be here today and announce a new program of our practice. It's called Legacy. For decades, we've coached CEOs and C-level executives across this nation and in almost every industry segment. And over those years, there's always been a commonality among subjects that are priorities for top executives. And what we've done is we've taken these discussions and we've created some synergy in putting a program together that we're calling Legacy. Executives who run companies are all experts in leadership. But Legacy talks about the impact that you have in an organization, whether it's a for-profit or a not-for-profit, the impact that you have that's measured over the years. So after you leave, your legacy continues. You will always be the one that the company just grew and became profitable and became the best in the industry. So the Legacy program focuses on three areas which have always been important, but the synergy of putting those three areas together becomes powerful. The first one is leadership. Most of my CEOs don't need a lot of training in leadership. They're superior leaders. In fact, it's the superior leaders who call on us to provide coaching and to be a strategic thought partner, because they already know how to lead, but they benefit from the discussion, the interaction, the opportunity to talk through situations. So our leadership today is focusing on what I think is by far the most important element of a successful company, and that's culture. Companies that have powerful cultures create an armor that helps you retain your employees. Everyone knows we're the talent for war for talent. We have aggressive search firms that are contacting your superstars every day, trying to convince them to leave your company and join their company. They'll even pay them more money. But if you have a culture that creates empowerment, creates passion, creates loyalty, creates energy. In fact, Jack Welch talks about good executives know how to guide, energize, and excite. And that's what cultures today have to be. But cultures do not start at the grass level. They just don't. They start with the CEO. He or she has this magic ability to create a culture where everyone who works there feels they're important. So the first thing is leadership as it relates to culture. Second one is strategy. Once again, our CEOs are expert in strategy. But the strategy that they're expert in may not be the same strategy that's going to make them successful in the future. Every day that you're in business, there's another company that's coming out with a better way, a cheaper way, a more exciting way, and a more competitive way to take business away from you. Executives who I talk to and I ask them, who do you think your competitors are going to be in the next 5 years or 10 years? You know, most of them miss it. Most of them don't realize that the companies that are out there are slowly invading their space, and they're going to knock the ball out of the park. So strategy for us, working with our executives, we're talking about creating a futuristic look. We're talking about what things will be, not long-range planning, but things that you wouldn't imagine are going to happen that are already in the process of happening. And let's talk about the third one. This is my favorite, wealth development. Every senior level executive is very concerned and probably has done a pretty good job of carving out a way to develop wealth over the years. But that's changing too, with executives being recruited out of companies every 5 to 7 years, sometimes even sooner than that. the ability and the strategy and the smarts to create packages that assure wealth is important. So Legacy, our new program, Legacy, is about combining leadership as it relates to culture, strategy as it talks about the future and what the future holds, and developing wealth. And I just want to comment on one more thing. People think that they're going to retire in their 50s or even in their 60s. I'm telling you, today, people retire in their 70s. I find executives in their 70s have more energy and more passion and more commitment than some of their younger colleagues who are in their 40s and 30s who haven't got that work ethic. So Legacy combines all these powerful components of leadership as it relates to culture, strategy as it relates to future, and wealth development. So check us out on LinkedIn, check us out on Facebook, and please give me a call and let's talk about how we can work together and make a difference in your life and in your company's life. I'm Dick Clark, and I'm privileged to be CEO and President of Clark Leadership Consulting. And thank you for your time in watching this video.